Y'all, I mean, something's gotta give, y'all. Skynet is trying to silence me. Okay, can y'all hear me now? Can you hear me now? I'm about to readjust this so that it'll sit up higher if y'all give me a second. But this is crazy today. This is super crazy today. We're not gonna let it stop us. We're gonna keep it rocking. All right. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me out here? We have got our cell phone sitting up here in the office. This is so crazy. This is so crazy, y'all. Can you hear me? I hope you can, because we done went through 3 or 4 different things on our computer to get this to work. And your girl is mad because it shouldn't took all that. Put a 1 in the comments if you can hear me, baby. We all the way live. We all the way live. Oh, can you hear me? I don't need to yell. Good. Y'all don't understand. I was out here like having a moment. Like, now they know. Sky didn't know I had planned this earlier. And I had things to do today. I got 2 business meetings later today. I'm gonna have to go. All right. I was looking for this connector piece, but I don't know where it's at. So it must be retaliation for Apple Video, which I want to start this video out with a correction. Yesterday's video, I was very passionate, and as more information came out, this isn't a retraction at all. Somebody was arguing with me in the comments, and I had to let them go. Now, which means I blocked them from the channel. Again, everybody knows who Charlie Sheen is, right? Charlie Sheen, wild party boy, got AIDS, doing, has some actual really horrible stories about his behavior from the past out there. And if all of a sudden we said, Charlie Sheen's so bad, we gonna go out here and take away all Martin Sheen, who is his daddy's movies. Now, the curious thing of Martin Sheen and Charlie Sheen is they always play like Irishmen, but they're actually Hispanic. Their last names are Estefan, whatever. They're European Hispanic. And this is what happened with the Banker movie. The Banker movie's father is about the father. It's about 2 men. Now, somebody said I was over here saying child abuse was okay, and that's not okay at all. You should never say that about somebody. What I was saying is there's 2 millionaires in this movie. There's not just one man, there's 2. And they were actually talking about his son, not the father. The father's done nothing. The son is accused of molestation to his siblings, half siblings. So again, this is like saying, hey, my daughter did something, so whatever the dad did it's no good now. It's no good. That doesn't make any sense. That's not even a legit argument. And at the end of the day, I feel like you're talking about blocking someone's history, right? You're again, and when we're so quick to sell something for a bigger profit and promise distribution, you have no control. Once you relinquish the control that you own of something, now the company has it, and they can do whatever they want. Exactly. The father didn't even know about the abuse till decades later. So I just want to put that out here because a lot of people are saying, well, you're saying it's okay. I never ever said abuse in any shape or form is okay at all. I just want to make it very clear that, if we would hold Martin Sheen to the standard that we're holding this man, something his child did, that's crazy. That doesn't make any sense. So anyway, it makes it even more confusing and even more frustrating that you would try to cancel a movie. Now, I am still emailing back and forth Apple staff, so I have to be careful because I'm pretty sure they've seen me out here acting crazy. So it's not even the father that's accused. It's the son that's accused of molesting his siblings, allegedly. Father didn't hear anything about it to years later. But we're canceling the movie on 2 black millionaires talking about banking, nothing else. For this story, sorry, nope, not going to go for that one. It's not going to fly, Apple. Charm City buyers, I just got a call about the Banker release. Ugh. Now here's what I was building this up to. I was talking about my original point that I was going to start with today. And thank all of y'all. Y'all are so loyal. You're so kind. You guys were in here messaging And I really appreciate that. That really touched me. I was like, oh man, they're waiting. I got to get this fixed. Is half America's broken, it's going to get worse. Now, maybe we're like, Erica, that's pretty dark on a Freedom Friday. I know, it's a Freedom Friday. Usually we happy, we cutting up. But what I want to talk about is there is a level of what I've been noticing is, stay-at-home moms went up 13%, right? They went up 13%. And I was listening to, was it Aaron Calleri was complaining because he was reading about, he's reading about these women complaining about losing their careers and the cost of daycare. And yeah, the thing of it is when you have a kid, somebody has to stay home with that kid, right? And that's something for some reason, we make that like this weird, like somebody has to stay home. Yeah, it's a choice. It's a consequence. Now, maybe people say, well, my husband don't make a lot of money. Well, you knew that when you married him, and you knew that when you had a kid, okay? There's a great one where his name is Mr. Money Mustache. Him and his wife were engineers, and they only had one kid. And people are like, well, why? He said, well, have you added up how much kids cost if you really want to take them and travel with you and do all this stuff? They cost money. And the thing of it is this is what I see. You're hearing this more and more, that women they're paying for daycare costs that are like $2,000 a month, when the average person, 75 million Americans, are making like literally $3,000 a month. Now, after taxes, you're really talking about $2,300 a month. And they're going in the hole. They're going in the hole putting kids in daycare. And the truth is, the cuts have to come. Now, what are the cuts, y'all? What are the cuts? The cuts are when a family makes a decision, hey, we're paying out more money every month for you just to go to work. Why don't you come home and we live on a restricted budget? Now, I told y'all this. I've been to several conferences the past 3 years, and everything I heard was like, how did we get out of healthcare costs? I kid you not. Every conference was like, they were like, we got to save money on healthcare budget. And I was like, well, what's all in the healthcare budget for big companies? Stay-at-home moms, paying moms who get their maternity leave, paying dads who get their paternity leave, which that is a real thing. Sorry, there's a blue bird out my window. Just a little too close. I need you to back it up, bird. Back it up. What are you doing? I got my windows open today for some fresh air, but I need it not to scare me like that. Kind of come up in here. And so companies are going to find a way to do what? Save money, ultimately. And that's just the change. And so when I hear people say, yeah, and the reason, if you see the thumbnail here, the reason I'm bringing this up, I'm going somewhere with it, is there was a black man who is a highly decorated Navy veteran. Let me make that very clear. He was highly decorated. He was even a contractor years later, making a lot of money. And he moved around a lot, and he was here in Texas. And unfortunately, when you dig more in the story, I'll go there. But first is first. He was dead in his apartment for 3 years, and nobody noticed. And people go, oh, there's no way. My apartment complex comes in and does this and does that and does this. Listen, honey, I've worked in apartment management. Our goal is to do as little as fucking possible. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And I started off cussing, but I was mad from the YouTube not starting. Our goal is to do as little as possible. Our goal is like, how can we do as little as possible for the most money? And so what does that mean? That means if we ain't got to go in your apartment and change nothing and fix nothing and spray nothing, we don't care. And so there's a lot of apartments in Texas, and this comes back to being a good landlord. We are short on good landlords in America. We got plenty of people who will show up and just collect a check. Now, here's the thing. The guy was clearly on diabetes medicine. They looked in his place. It was still neat. Nothing was disheveled. It looked like he just fell out of his kitchen chair, and there he was. Now, here's my argument about it. This comes into the lack of community, and money plays into it. How does money play into it, Erica? This man is highly decorated. He gets an automatic pension. He's a contractor. His family was in New York, and he had children, okay? And no one followed up with this man. Now, the neighbors downstairs complained that there was a weird brown dripping on the ceiling. Can we come get this? And let me tell you what the property management company did. They knocked on his door, he wouldn't answer, and they couldn't get the bolt. So they were like, close the door back. Like they tried to open it, but the thing is that the latch, that locks the top part was there. So they couldn't get in. So they just locked it back, went downstairs and said, hey, we couldn't get in upstairs. I don't know what that is. Sprayed it, Kills painted it and painted over it. Yeah. So the story when the police came to cut the door, that was the same bolt from the 3 years ago when the maintenance company come out and was like, we couldn't get in, so we didn't open it. Same bolt, same lock. All the windows were sealed. Everything was locked up. Now, why am I bringing this up and how does this play into money, Erica? How does this play to all this stuff we're talking about? This is what this lone wolf stuff, this I'm out here making money, but I don't associate with anybody. That's trash, yo. It just is. We're built for community. Now, people are going to say, well, Erica, how did the bills get paid? Easy. When you have apartment management company managing your property and it ain't the best property, he had Navy pension coming to his account every month. Trust me, the average Navy pension for most people is about $3,000. $2,000 to $3,000. If you've been decorated, wounded, some other stuff, you're going to get a fat check. You're going to get $3,000, and that's just from the military. And if you got disability, which I'm not certain because he was still doing contracting, that'd be another $2,000 to $3,000. Okay? And what ends up happening is everything's automatic. Auto pay for rent, auto pay for electric, and the only reason they even noticed, I think it was it the light bills? They were looking because they were trying to figure out vacant properties. Something was wrong with it was a combination of vacant properties and light bills. Something didn't sound right. Right? And so they finally went to go check on it because they were like, we ain't heard nothing from this tenant in a long time. Thank you, Andre Hatchet, for the $4.99 super chat. And guess what? His truck was still out in the parking lot 3 years later, covered in dust. And again, this is what happens in an economy where we encourage people not to have community. And do very little. Live very lean. Now, his mother, people are like, how did his mother not know? Y'all not doing the math. His mama's 70-something years old and disabled and living in New York. Now, I'm not making fun of New Yorkers, but New Yorkers don't drive. If your mama ain't got that much money, if you're the main source sending her some money, you're the son sending her some money, and then you don't send her no money no more, and you don't return any of her phone calls. Well, now mom has to is basically begging people to go check on her son because one, she's a New Yorker, she don't drive, and she's 70 years old. And then she don't know his address. So clearly there was a strain in the relationship somewhere where he did not communicate with them. Okay? Now I bring all this up because what happens to most people when times get tight, money gets tight? What happens when times get tight? People usually, when times get tight, people usually bond together with family and friends, right? MGTOW, pay attention. Listen, honey, all these men telling you that they're going to go MGTOW and go live on an island somewhere. Let me tell you, when I was in Belize, y'all, and I think people don't believe me, when I was in Belize, the man on the plane beside me, he had been in Belize 30 years. And he looked like a bag of bones and loose clothes. And I was like, well, where are you going? He's like, I'm going back to Alabama because my son's there and I'm dying of cancer. I only got a couple more weeks. And I said, damn, like, is your children expecting you? Yeah, they ain't seen me in about 30 years, but they said I could come back. Now, this was a white man, y'all. This wasn't no black man. This was a white man. And I'm sitting here like, you going to bounce on 4-year-old children and then call them and want to come back because you're dying in Belize on an island with your little chica, okay? And she gone, okay? And so can you live efficiency style living at $3,000, $4,000 a month? Yeah. All these people promoting minimalism, I'm not against it. But here's the problem. It's usually tied up to being broke. It's usually tied up to being absolutely freaking broke. And then you can look cool by saying, oh, I'm not into those material things. No, you're broke. You on average, you're making $3,000 a month and you ain't making no money. But you want to be comfortable. They don't exist together. They don't exist together. Now, people are like, well, Erica, rent's too damn high. Hashtag rent's too high. Rent is too high some places. I ain't gonna front on you. It don't make no sense. It don't add up to me. But that is, again, in the original post where I had it showing you guys, I said there's 4 things that are gonna happen, right? Because the guy Jamie Dimon and some of these CEOs, they are not scared. Now, yeah, 3,000, but 3,000 in Belize isn't rich. I've actually gone to Belize and I've actually looked for property to buy there. So Belize, on average, they're getting paid $11 an hour in the phone call centers, and they have a ton of them. So again, $3,000 in Belize is like, you're doing a little bit better. But when rent's like rent's not 1,000 in Belize. You can get something for 600, but you're gonna be not in the middle of downtown. Belize is higher than most because they speak English, and a lot of people retired there about 20 years ago, and it's thrown everything off. Parts of Belize is a dump for sure. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. So minimalism, here's my problem. Minimalism is the pushback against materialism, which I'm okay with. And if you actually look up Japanese culture and style, for many years in the 1980s, Japanese culture was like, you have a room that has signature pieces, but not overcrowded, right? So they were always like America's junky and crowded because of, materialism, that's how we shop. And so minimalism is the design of that, right? It's the pushback of materialism, which is great. But when you go in most minimalist homes or people starting to claim their minimalism, I basically see a dude or a girl with like one couch, a few pots and pans, and some food in the fridge. And they be like, I'm a minimalist. No, true minimalism is like signature pieces of art in your place. It's just it's like a nice, beautiful place, architect wise, but just sparse. It's just not a clunky, crowded place. That's all. And what people have to understand is every single person and I shared it in the community tab, every single person that you see that's claiming minimalism, as soon as they get that YouTube money, they get a bigger house, and including Matt Davila, he got married. He won't show you pictures of the wedding because they're saying, oh, we just went through this quick drive-through. Bull crap. There's more pictures to that story. Then they moved to a bigger place and got more stuff and a better car. Again, the van life people you see, every van life, there's a white girl who's doing van life. She was super cool and she's great at editing videos, right? But again, when you are in the arts and crafts, you have to constantly do what? Be selling your craft. If you're not, you're not going to have clients or consistent clients or referral clients. And as soon as she made that YouTube check, that $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 came in, she was like, peace out. And got an apartment and got everything. Okay? And she was like, yeah, I did 6 months of van life. It was enough for me. It was a good enough experience. Come on, y'all, man. These people are not wanting to do that. Now, look, back to this whole thing. What I'm trying to get you to see is being efficient to the point that you're isolated is dangerous. We're not meant to be alone. We're not meant to be isolated. We're actually relational people. Many studies show your mind can know about 150 people and don't know them personally, but like know them enough. And then on top of that, a smaller subset, your mind can know about 12 people enough, but then they can really know about 6 people. Like if I call, there's a couple friends right now. If you call her, you call my girlfriend, she gonna tell you, oh, okay, Erica's in town right now. But I don't know where she at. Oh, Erica's out of town, but I don't know what city. Like she keeps tabs. She's like, she's my emergency contact on stuff. Okay? Billy Jackson, I just got your thank you card in the mail. Thank you as well. That's right. So again, when people are telling you a narrative that doesn't add up, like, nah, I'm just out here by myself, lone wolfing it, not making no money, playing video games. Again, it's dangerous because this is what you're doing in that 35 to 50-year-old range for men. If you look at all these studies, their income skyrockets in those years. And it's a couple different things. You'll see single women and married women, their income stay about 30 to 50K. It just stays there. It don't get much better. It's weird. Married or single, it just stays there. Now, are there women making money? Sure. But on average, 30K to 50K. It stays there whether you're married or single. It stays in these two little lines. Single men, 40 to 55,000. It stays there like it flatlines. It goes all the way across. But when you see married men, it goes up. Goes up. Now, why am I telling you this? All this plays into the fact that you have to learn how to teamwork with people, or you have to choose the 4 marks. Now, what does it mean, the 4 marks? The 4 marks are, 1, we're going to retreat. We're going to retreat. Now, what is retreat? We're going to go minimalism. We're going to sell everything in our house. We're going to go move into the country where rent's $500, and we're going to retreat. We're going to retreat. We're out of here. We're condensing. We're scrounging down our income. And there's a great interview with Robert Kiyosaki where he's like, you're telling people that they got to condense their dreams and hopes. And that's the danger. That's the danger with the FIRE movement, where people are trying to do really lean FIRE, where they cooking beans and rice every day. That's woo. Because what you start to do, things you do in your 20s, you're gonna do in your 30s. Things you do in your 30s, you're gonna do in your 40s. You keep up. These are called habits. Okay, so you think you're gonna retire and now you're gonna live fabulously? Nope. But that's step number 1. That's what most people do. They go reduce the lifestyle. Like somebody was on Kevin Samuel saying that she was in dire straits financially. He's like, honey, go in your wardrobe and sell everything. Sell everything. Everything. You could go to several people's houses, and if a husband or wife are really having bad stuff, sell everything. Get rid of everything. Yard sales be popping all over the United States. That's why you have the Nextdoor app. People are trying to get rid of stuff. They done bought too much stuff, which is the pushback against, materialism, and they want to get rid of it. Cluttered home leads to more anxiety, all that stuff. Okay? Sell it. You ain't using it, sell it. Okay? Now that's step number 1. That's what most people are going to do when we talk about the economy getting worse. Number 2, people are going to get better jobs. And usually people used to get a better job because they just wanted a better job. People now are kind of being forced. They're like, I ain't got no money. This ain't working. I got to do something different. Okay? Now, when I keep bringing on Afro tech or tech stuff or stocks like Terry, I'm just trying to get you to see the other side of that, right? That there's opportunities all over the place. You can go make money. You can go make money. You don't have to stay in that job. And then when people say, well, yeah, but I heard 100,000-year jobs are stressful. Who? Do you know anybody with 100-year? Do you know anybody? If all your friends, if you're making 30,000, I'm going to take a guess that at least 4 out of 5 of your friends are all making 30,000 as well. Yeah. And so you don't really know anybody with a 100K job. I actually know at least 25 people with 100K plus jobs. And them mofos be taking breaks and be on Facebook like anybody else. Okay? Like anybody else. Now, but with that being said, you don't have to stay. Like when people say, well, somebody's got to be a janitor, Erica. Somebody's got to be a teacher. Somebody's got to be a this. But it ain't got to be you. I didn't say we don't need janitors. I'm not going to say we don't need teachers. I'm not saying we don't need CNAs who wipe butts. I didn't say that. But again, in America, it used to be these are stepping stones and you would move yourself on to the next thing. You'd have a goal. You'd have a mission. You'd have a purpose. A purpose. And people are out here like, well, I'm still making 15. I remember this. I watched this video. I almost cried, y'all. It was a black guy. He came out of the army and he was like, I was a cook in the army. People are like, yeah. And now I cook at KFC. And, I love cooking for people. I love making people happy. But, we should get paid more than minimum wage. We should get $15 an hour. Now, first thing I thought is, brother, you a veteran? And you telling me the best you can find is KFC? Baby, you can go cook at a hospital. You can go cook at a luxury restaurant. There's a lot of other places you can make money as a cook. But again, we get caught up in, I feel good cooking for people. I want to do that. And that's what I want to do. Baby, if you got kids and now you out the army, you need to go get a high-paying job that takes care of your family. See, back in the day when our parents and grandparents did some sacrifices, the reason people make fun of all these boomers, oh, they doing this, that, a lot of these boomers got paid off shit, though. They put the cost in to be the boss. And you're saying, well, because the times were cheaper back then, Erica. Honey, please. My aunt bought a house in 1969, and it was one of them. I have an aunt that's all the way 75, and I got an aunt that's 50. So my grandma was going for a long time. I'm just saying. And so when you see there was houses that was 60K back then, it wasn't that they were super cheap. I mean, they're lower cost in general, but they still paid money for the properties. But that's the crux of people not realizing that I may love something may be super fun, but I might have to sacrifice for 2 to 5 years to get in a better position for me, myself, and my family. I know right now a guy in Fayetteville, North Carolina. He loves being a barista. I kid you not. He loves being a barista. And he kept getting kicked out of apartment after apartment, getting evicted, like 3 evictions in a row. And he's like, and everybody was like, here, man, here's a trucker job. Here's this job. Here's that job. No, I don't want to do any of those. You know, my kids need me. And everybody's like, your 2 kids don't need you being evicted every freaking year. So finally, he's working as a mechanic somewhere, and he's complaining about getting $12 an hour as a mechanic. And first, everybody says, well, are you certified? You shouldn't be making that low. He said, no, this guy just gave me this job, help me out, and so I can learn car skills. So you complained about, you're not even a mechanic, and you complaining? And guess what he did this year? Got with another white girl. She got pregnant with twins, and the twins were preemies. So they've been in the hospital like, I think, 45 days. He out here with GoFundMe. Come help y'all. Got these twins. You know, I got my other kids. And you're like, your father was a distinguished military man who made good money. And I don't think you honoring his memory like this, out here begging, when you could have went in the military, you could have been a trucker, you could have made more money, you could do anything. And this is how you honor your father. And this guy ain't young, he's 39. This ain't some 30-year-old guy who's like still trying to figure his life out. This is a 39-year-old guy. So again, when I talk about people who are broke out here and it's going to get worse, it is. There are charities right now who are reaching out more and more saying, hey, we expect people dropping these babies off to go up to all-time highs at these orphanages. Can we please get more funds, please? Thank you. To prepare ourselves for economic times. Yeah, that's what happens. So, but yeah, fair to launch. So number 3, okay, so our first level course is the reduce everything, burn the barns, we're broke, minimalism, we're going to freak out, we're going to reduce everything. Number 2 is, time to type, better get a new job. Boom. That's where most people go. They go, it's time to, the bell has rung, time to get a new job. Number 3 and number 4 are different. Number 3 is where you turn it. Number 3 is where you're like, ooh, we got to own something, because this is the only way we're going to get out of here. Everybody stop what you're doing. Sean Dexter, money doesn't equate happiness. Sean, baby, we don't use those talking points here. Don't do it, Sean. That's what people say when they're trying to make a sense out of failure. Don't do it, Sean. You're trying to make sense out of, I'm broke, sitting on the couch, I ain't got no money, but you don't need money. You don't need money to be happy. I'm sorry. No. We don't use those mindsets here. I'm sorry. Thank you, though. Thank you for sharing it. Poverty never makes us happy, okay? Sorry, I'm going to read y'all comments later, but there's like 371 of y'all in here, so I can't hit them all. But when I see them, I'm like, no, Sean, we don't do that here. Now, number 3 is pushing into higher level living. Now, number 3 and number 4 are 2 different. Number 4 is going to be the business ownership aspect. Number 3 is the higher income living. When you start transitioning, and when I talk on this channel, and I'm trying to think of something like a PDF I could put together, and talk about it next year. You could literally come somewhere, start all new, and go join certain associations, join certain groups. Again, like I told you when I first joined my church, people were like, you're a great girl. You have a lot of energy. Would you like, I got a 70K phone job at our office. Would you like it? Can you come in and interview? And I'd be like, me? What? Me? And so again, it's all about associations and also pressing forward. But when you start getting to that $80,000 to $140,000 a year income in your household, a husband and a wife, or just you as a single person, you're in a new echelon. Now, I'm not going to tell you to go start no side business. I'm not going to tell you to go do no side hustle. But what I am going to tell you to do if you're making 80 to 140K a year is start chucking 40, 50K a year to investments. And I'm going somewhere with this video. I know it seems like I'm long, but I'm trying to wrap it up towards asset supremacy and community. When you start making those higher incomes, it's hard to fall down. Now, remember I was telling you guys about, I know people that lost their job and all this other stuff. What happens is when you start getting into that level of income, then your circle changes, right? Like the clothes change, the circle changes, where you live now is different. It's different. And you start hearing different things and you start knowing you need to invest your money, right? And so when you do that, what helps there is now with your new circle, you're on LinkedIn, you got about 20 new people you bring in your life. Again, there's a book Aaron Clary wrote called Poor Richard's Retirement. The really truth of it is if you keep the debt low, but you keep making more money, you get in different circles, period. As life goes on, we all will experience friends who start having babies and go, oh, I'm tired. A case of the tires. Everybody's always, I'm tired. Oh, I had friends at church who were counseling us as younger people, and they were saying, we've had friends who had children 8 years ago, and we haven't seen them out at an event since. We see them at church and one other place, and that's it. They've just given up. And in the case of that man and that woman, they were trying to keep her home with the kids and him go to work, and they were reducing everything, every bit of dollars they had. But in your case, to reduce things, you still can invite people over your house for dinner. You can still do different things. Again, people are making excuses, and you need community. This is why parenthood is so stressful now, because we aren't in a community type setting. It used to be if you had a problem, your neighbors could help with your kids. This person can help with your kids. Your family were close together. You live real close to your family. People can help. But not so much no more. Now, number 4. Number 3, we could go there all day. But the fact is, there's plenty of jobs out here that can make you 100, 150,000. The key difference is your clothes. Your clothes, how you talk, where you're going. When I'm here listening to the Man of Spirit, and I'll just use it for example, y'all can come beat me up later about it. When you hear all these guys talk about, I see all these raggedy ratchets out here, and I'm like, well, first of all, where do you live? Do you live in a cheap apartment? Because clearly that's where you would see ratchets, when you live in a cheap apartment, which means you don't make a lot of money. And so you're constantly looking out your window at people with poor behavior and assuming that's the world. That's ridiculous. The key always is, if you want to live in a cheaper apartment and save money for a year or two, that's great. But guess what you need to do? You need to spend your afternoons where you say you are and who you say you are. If you are, what's his name, Lupe Fiasco? If you are what you say you are, a superstar, have no fear. If you say you're a higher quality man or woman, guess where you need to be? Around higher quality people. Guess the places you need to be: golfing, tennis, out somewhere, not over here, cigar lounges, balls, associations, events. If people aren't calling you or messaging you or emailing you, or you're not even getting mail invitations to events, are you who you say you are? You dig what I'm saying? Are you who you say you are? Right? You aren't who you say you are. Because let me make this very clear. When your business makes over $300,000 a year, let's be very clear. You start getting mail from charities. And a lot of people on YouTube ain't telling you that, right? They ain't telling you that. When your business starts making $300,000 to $500,000 a year, and you start seeing, you start doing your tax returns, there's a thing called Melissa's data. And y'all can look this up for yourself. You ain't got to believe me. You can pay for Melissa's data to find homes where people make over $150,000 to $500,000 a year. You can find that data and you can pay for it. How do you think all these marketing companies and Facebook and YouTube do all this? They're doing it all the data out here. So if you are who you say you are, you say you're a man making all this money and doing all this stuff, you would know what I'm saying is real. You would know that you would be getting this mail from charities and banquets and presidents and politicians asking for donations. Hey, we love that your business is serving Texas, Miss Williams. We'd love for you to donate. Do you get those in the mail? You don't get them in the mail, do you? You don't. And I know you don't, but it's okay. I just wanted to make sure we said that, okay? Now, because some of y'all are here telling you're men of means, and I'm like, oh, really? Are you really? Huh, interesting. So, but the fourth is, of course, companies and starting businesses. Now, people say everybody can't start a business, Erica. Everybody can't start one, Erica. Okay. Okay, why are you crying? Just don't start one. I'm not forcing you. I didn't hold your hand and force you to start one. But the opportunities are out there like never before. See, if you took that 4 to 5 hours you're spending every afternoon out here making videos on hood rats and actually use it to build a business, you'd be a wealthy man and live in a whole nother neighborhood and never see any hood rats. You'd only see beautiful, attractive, classy people. You dig? You dig? I've actually been over here and one of our neighbors climbed into his window. And the police lives next door. And he said, oh, hey, you all right? Yeah, I locked my key out. I just popped his window up and came in. This is when you live in luxury apartments. Ain't nobody can. Oh, you okay? Something all right over there? Oh, okay. Now you see these videos where the white ladies are harassing somebody coming in the door. You don't live here. Listen how they talk. Look at where they live. It's not luxury places. See, what's happening is you have poorer white people realizing, oh my God, I'm really poor. I have a lot of black neighbors who can live in here and afford to live here. It's a culture shock. Again, the same one. There was a woman in Florida. The guy came out with his hoodie on. And she's like, you don't live here. You don't look familiar. He's like, you look like you see me all the time. I've been to the associations. They're called cheap neighborhoods. You live in cheap neighborhoods. Okay? That's the difference. Okay? So I'm doing all this video, not to just be silly, but to be honest, as we finish the year out. The fourth position is companies. And I remember talking to this man, and we were flying in first class. And this black guy, I felt like he had a little bit of attitude, right? You know, and brother, you welcome to it. You fly in first class, you living your best life. And I was like, oh, hey, how you doing? He's like, oh, hi. I was like, yeah, we're going to DC. Yeah, me too. Blah, blah, blah. Start talking to him. He's like, yeah, I own a company. Black guy's balling. But I think what he was thinking is maybe black women aren't nice to him usually. And so he had a little bit of attitude. And I just started laughing because I wanted to be like, bro, like, we're both in first class. We're both living nice. We're both dressed nice. I don't want you, baby, but I'm going to speak to you, you know? And so the thing of it is like, you could literally financially put yourself in a circle where you don't even associate. You don't even associate with the people. There's one guy over there, he's always talking about, I don't even deal with black people. I live across town with the white people, and I don't bother with none of these black people. And I'm like, then why are you on YouTube ranting and raving about black people? If you don't live near them, you don't work with them, what's the problem? What's the problem, my brother? You need therapy. That's what you need. It ain't us, it's you. And you need therapy, okay? Now, why is this important? Because the average kid, when you have your kids in school, they spend 8 to 10 hours with other knucklehead kids. Knucklehead kids. Okay? Now, if you are not in a good neighborhood, if you are not in a well-to-do neighborhood, if you and your spouse are not in a wealthy neighborhood, and I know y'all about to come up with some theories. These wealthy kids are bad too, Erica. I know. Go ahead. I know you're coming with it. Your kids, there's certain years of your kid's life from 10 to 14, and AM1 or anybody can speak on this, where they're very highly influenced by peer pressure. Highly. Like you gotta circle the wagon to make sure that kid's on tight. Now I'm at a Brandon Marsh. Look, first class is a waste of money. Y'all know, listen, these are poverty people speaking. So a bigger seat, plugging up my phone to charge it is a waste of, more legroom is a waste of money. Listen, people tell on themselves. Listen, people are verbally telling on themselves. Read it. Read what they're saying. They're telling on themselves. They don't got no money. It's a waste of money. I don't want to do it. Listen. This is the words of someone who's experiencing poverty and trying to make sense of it. Do you know how much on average my first class seats are? $300. Now, yes, I have a lot of points and other stuff, but on average, they're $300. Once or twice, they've been $700. But that's how poor people are in America, that they need a plane ticket to be $150. If it ain't $150, they can't do it. If they ain't riding Southwest, they can't do it. That's how I know people are broke. I don't ride Southwest. One time Terry said, Erica, there's a great ticket deal on Southwest. Honey, I don't ride Southwest. My seat needs to be already selected. I don't do that. And she laughed, and I was serious. I said, Terry, I don't ride Southwest. I don't ride Spirit. I don't ride Frontier. I ride United and Delta. If I can't get United and Delta, I'll ride American Airlines, but it's shitty. And if it ain't first class, I won't fly. Y'all know this. Charm City buyers, other people can tell you, if I don't get a first class ticket, I will not come there. There's no point. I'm not doing it. It's a waste of my day. It's a waste of my travel. I'm not sitting to go sit in the back and smash up in a can. Please get out of here with that. This is people trying to make sense of poverty. I'm just want to make, the choice is yours. And I was going to get to Matt Vila's movie called The 3-Year Decision. But really, most people hop on something for 6 months and quit. They hop on something for 6 months and quit, and then can't figure out why nothing's going right for them. That's why. And so they're trying to make sense out of it. Stop trying to make sense out of failure and not making decisions. Ray Gunn, thank you for the $5 super chat. Closing the year with fire. Listen, I'm just being honest. You know, I'm closing the year out because I'm going to have a good damn year. I'm gone. Y'all think I'm joking. The reason probably the computer was messing up earlier is because we had all the VAs logged in the LastPass. Locking that shit up. They better hurry get that stuff done today. Now listen. This is how I know, why I'm so frustrated, y'all. I'm going to a mastermind in a $13 million mansion in California with 40 other people. And a majority of these people are under 28 years old. And guess what they did? They got 1 or 2 credit cards. They hired 1 or 2 VAs or 1 or 2 friends paying them $10 an hour. And they're cold calling and making calls and setting appointments and running SOE ads. They had a guy drop out of law school. It's all systems. And who's willing to take a risk? That's what it is, y'all. It's all systems. And when I sit around and see these younger people willing to take a risk, and there's a lot of older people, don't get it twisted, but for this event I'm going to, it ain't them. It's the younger people going, okay, I work for an office, but all they do is run and get ads and get traffic and then provide a service. Oh, okay, I can do that. That's all we did with the painting company. Go on Home Advisor, run some ads, put our sign out where we're painting your house, turn around, get those ads. Always have somebody answering the phone and setting appointments. That's it. And that's why I get frustrated sometimes, because I'm explaining to you how easy business can be and how I have friends who have full-time jobs. They're freaking engineers, but they spend Saturday on the weekend making sure their construction company on the side runs well. I know a guy right now who started his construction company so his brother who came out of prison would have a job. Went on Home Advisor, ran some ads, sends his brother out like a freaking handyman. And his brother's honored deal with him is to make sure he goes to classes to get better at his craft. Y'all, if you're not thinking on that level, like, oh, my brother about to come out of jail, let me give him something to do. Oh, my parents are about to retire, let me give them something to do that'll make us all money. You're not here yet then. You're not ready yet. And that's why America's going to get worse. We have a bunch of people trying to be comfortable, live in cheap-ass apartments, and then complain about cheap-ass apartment. Look at my neighbors acting like assholes. Where do you live, bro? You got 14. I remember one time I worked for this apartment complex, y'all. I would be so mad every day when I came there. It'd be like 27,000 Hondas. You know Honda Civics. Everybody know what the old Honda Civic used to look like. And it'd be all these damn broken down Honda Civics in the parking lot. And I'd be like, y'all, can't we tow these? They'd be like, no, we don't want to tow them. It's too much work. Let's just leave the residents alone. And you go by and you be like, Mr. Hector, you have 4 Honda Civics. Is there you moving these anytime soon? Yeah, it's about to be tax time and I'm working on them and they're going to be gone. And sure enough, when tax time did come around, them cars was gone. A lot of them, not all of them. Still had a lot of broken down ones. But what you have is people out here doing tactics because that's all they can do. Right? And it's all they can do because they choose to. Not, let me make this very clear. If you're 40, 50 years old watching my channel, I think you have the ability of the world. You can go start a new career tomorrow. You can do whatever you want. Don't blame ageism. Put on the new clothes and do new things and go on with your life. You may live to be 90 years old. And a lot more people are going to live to be 80 because we have really great healthcare in America, regardless of what people say. So if you're 35, 40 telling me, well, am I too old to do this? You need some new friends, baby, because you're hanging around people who acting like they about to die. That's the wrong crowd. You need to go ahead and do another career. You know, military people get out after they they get to 40 years old and do a whole another 20 years somewhere else in another company. Happens all the time. Because life, people say life is short. No, baby, life is long if you make bad choices. It's real long. Right now I'm sitting here and I remember somebody was saying, well, Erica, when you have these kids, you can film more YouTube videos and show how you're a mother and run all these companies. Honey, please. What am I do all that for? I'm going to sit back and enjoy my babies. I don't need to do this. I don't think y'all understand. This is joyful at times, but not so, also sometimes not joyful. When people send negative comments and do crazy stuff, you're like, I don't have time for this. Okay? So again, I understand now in retrospect, but listen, if you're one of the people thinking you're going to sign up for my YouTube course, you're going to fucking love it. Excuse me, language. You're going to love it because we literally outlay a business, how to make this a career, how to make this more than this. Do you know how many people that are on YouTube that talk about real estate actually are just using it as leverage to bring people in? You guys saw what I talked about Lane Kowalski? Out of Hawaii, he's bought 6 apartment buildings now. Using this beautiful old YouTube. People are on here looking for ways to connect with others, create community, and what? Make more money. So you're out here, and let's do simple math. You get 100 people to give you $10,000. What is that? Put it in the comments. If 100 people come together with you with $10,000, what is that? Don't let people shame your standards. Okay, Andre Hatchett, I just cannot. I just won't even come. They know I won't come. Samar, listen. Here we go. I fly business class and I'm financially independent. Nothing wrong with frugality. Samar. Come on now. When the average American is making $3,000 a month, 75 million Americans are, and you start making higher. Let me put it to you this way. The average person may fly once a month. At max, maybe 3 times a year. A lot of people. You're telling me that once a month you pay $500 for a ticket, or $300, because that's what I usually pay on average. Is just too much. It's too much. I'd rather pay $74 and sit in a cramped seat. Much better. I don't believe that. Frugality is, again, I don't want to go off. Here's the thing. Frugality has to be careful, because if you're not careful, you become cheap. And cheap is not frugality. Cheap is being ridiculous. Cheap is almost a mental disorder. Cheap is the rat hoarding the cheese. Cheap is, I will buy terrible cheap towels to rub my butt against because I'm all about frugality. No, that's cheap. There's a line in it. There's a line. I remember this guy saying he wouldn't pay for a hotel that was more than $100. I said, well, what hotels are you living in? What hotels are you visiting? Ugh. What kind of craziness is that? Again, this is a person who travels all the time. I've been in multiple hotels. I've been in 5-star hotels. I've been in less. And I know the quality of sheets and the quality of cleaning that's going down. I know a lot of truckers who won't even stay in a hotel unless it's a Hyatt or a Marriott. They won't do it. It's got to be a good Marriott too. These are truckers. Even they know the importance and quality of good sleep and a good mattress. Again, there's a line in the sand between frugality and being cheap, y'all. It's a line. And people are really going on the cheap side. I think it was Trina. Trina was in a Walmart fighting with somebody who called her N-word. First of all, you're Trina. What you doing in Walmart? What you doing in Walmart? What's in there that's the sale so damn good? It's not. Funny how people try to tell you I spend money. Exactly. When you have no freaking debt, you're just making money. Erica, you should be more frugal. You should totally and save more of your money every month. If you there's certain ways to think about this. If you think uh, it'd be one thing if just saving money brought you high returns, but the game is rigged. Inflation's high. If you're not making 6 to 12% returns on your money, what are you doing with your money? What are you doing? What are you doing? Now, prime example, I was going to bring this story up because it surprised me, but it didn't. Now, there's a dude called Dr. Amos and a couple other people who in the 80s, and Patrick Buchanan brought this up, and so people think Patrick Buchanan is racist, so I'm going to be careful mentioning him, which he is slightly racist. But they talked about asset supremacy in the 80s. In the 1980s, there was this big thing. Before Japan had the lost decade, they started coming over and buying up everything. Buying up places in Hawaii, buying up all kind of stuff. Even to this day, there's places in Hawaii where Japan had started buying things and never finished, and it's just empty streets and empty stuff. Lots where communities were supposed to be built and they never were. And a lot of real estate developers are just trying to buy that stuff from old Japanese people at this point, right? Wholesalers too, right? And what happened is they started coming over buying things, and then boom, Japan had a lost decade. Now, Dr. Amos was talking about, watch out, don't worry about white supremacy, worry about Asian supremacy. Now, my thing is, I don't worry about Asian supremacy either. I would love to call it, as AM1, asset supremacy. Because if you noticed, if you see the videos I've shown on here, the Congolese in Dallas have 300 trucks. And they hired all their friends and family. But because they live in America, they had to hire a few white people. So they hired one white lady, one black guy. They hired a few, right? You see what's going on in Carlton, Texas. Majority of the owners are Korean. The gas stations in Dallas, Koreans and Nigerians. Okay. You see what's going on in Houston. Huge Indian population, huge Nigerian population. Why am I bringing these people up? Why am I bringing them up? And because you're probably like, what does this have to do with this conversation, Erica? Asset supremacy is where this future of this country is going, right? You're going to have a lot of people who make high income, and they be good because they make a high income. They're in a better neighborhood. They go on some vacations. They live in. They okay. But these are people that's going to be 150,000 and up, right? Again, when wealthy men get divorced, and when I mean wealthy, I mean people over 80,000 a year. Careful, treading lightly. They get remarried at higher rates than everybody else because marriage is a thing. Family is a thing. Someone to run your house is a thing, okay? And so when people who have no money are complaining about, I never get married, marriage is a scam, it's a bill, it's a scam, your poverty showing. It just is. If you've ever been in a relationship and you actually enjoy the relationship with the opposite sex, healthy, normal relationship, you usually are in a give and take position. What you're hearing from the internet, people who had bad relationships, and instead of getting help, they're still venting about their bad relationship, and they're making very bad decisions for the next 5-10 years of their life because they're putting themselves in a position where they're going to be this guy who is decorated, amazing, made money, but alone. No friends, no family. No one knew where he was in Texas that cared enough to call 911. No one said, let me do a wellness check on my buddy. My buddy Rodney ain't called me in 2 months. Maybe he's overseas. Maybe we should do a wellness check. Maybe I should go knock on his door. Oh man, his pickup truck's still over there. Maybe I should go check. See, you have people trying to be these lone wolves and these hermits and crab ladies or cat ladies out in the middle of nowhere because I don't need no man. I don't need no woman. That's dangerous. And it doesn't make sense. It's quite unhealthy. And so I'm sitting here trying to tell y'all, like, where the trajectory's going. The two people in that 4 categories I said where everybody's reducing and shrinking down and trying to save money, those people are going to make it in their smaller town. They have to just adjust happiness. There's a book called Frugal Woods. If you want to do that, read on that. Because I actually like small towns. I'm not a really big city person. I live right at the top of Austin, okay? Downtown's cute, but only for a few days. It's a lot of noise. Number 2 is the people who are being squeezed so hard that they're like, we have to make more money to stay in this city. Again, that's what you see in New York City. That's what you see in California. They're not really thriving at life. They're surviving, but they're making more money. Number 3 is the people who are like, we got to make real more money. What is real more money? Real more money is in tech, is in sales, and is, in investments, right? Number 4, of course, is people who own companies because financially, it just makes sense. And it's just a system. If I could get y'all to see that having a business 9 times out of 10 is just a system. Okay, in your system, you need somebody to do what? Make calls, set appointments, and go see appointments. That's it. A lot of these guys out here in Austin, they are literally just booking and setting appointments, and they be sending out people to go do the estimate. It's not that. It's just low tech and it's easy, right? When I talk about owning these trucks, I'm a little exhausted. I don't know if I want to do any more trucks, but literally, it's just in and out. It's like a business. It's on Friday. They send me the settlement. I review all the numbers. Okay, this truck needs maintenance. Out of these 12 trucks, this one needs this needs maintenance. Okay, boom. It's just a business. It's just on paper. And if I could explain it any better, I would, but that's the best I can do. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is you need community. You need community and you need new thinking. And how do you get those things? By tracking your own time, seeing what you're truly doing in a day. What are you truly doing in a day? Right? Who are you accountable to? If you're accountable to no one, then you could be doing it. You could be telling us you're doing anything, but you're not. Right? Accountability comes in results. Are you getting the results in life you want? The reason I put the planner out there, because I know a lot of people say, well, I'm getting around to it. I'm trying. I'm this. And there's no tracking. There's no writing it down. If I ask you what you did last Tuesday, well, I don't even know. Well, how can you measure what you don't track? If you don't track it, how do you know? Again, that's part of why I put the planner out. And for those of you who have great personalities, you have things you want to add to this world, you have skills you want to share, the number one thing that's just been an absolutely moneymaker for many of Americans is YouTube. It's making so much money that the FTC's like, we got to go get some of that money over there. And that's part of why I do. It's part of why I'm putting the course together. It's why I got like 8 hours of stuff right now at this point. But again, I'll let y'all know when that's dropping. But again, what are your goals for 2020? You see, it's not cheap to live in America. You see, it's not cheap to have these things. You have teenagers you're trying to buy stuff for. You see, it's not cheap. So what's your decision? Are you going to decide to buck up? I'm trying to use the right words. Buck up and actually participate in your life, because this is your life. If you're struggling, do you see this? Did you see the article I posted on my Facebook page about the fastest growing person entering the food industry is elderly people? And you know what people had to say in the comments? Well, elderly people have respect and know how to do things. If you are an elderly person and you're having to go work fast food, no, that ain't it. That ain't it, sis. Or bro, that is not it. If you're elderly and you got a car, I would better prefer you go work as a activities director at an old folks home. If you're elderly and you got a car, I'd rather you go get paid to tutor kids to read or something, and whether you work fast food. That is not a win. No matter how they try to paint it as a win, it is not a win. That is a financial, that's not it. That ain't a win. You need community, but I don't think you want fast food community. Okay? So let me see what y'all saying up in here, and we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you guys for the super chat. You guys are supporting the channel today. Let me go back. Thank you for Mr. G for the $5 super chat. Talk that shit. Love leg room. You just do. You need leg room. Erica out here living her best bougie life. Listen, and people love to see the now, but they don't see when I was delivering pizzas in 100-degree Texas summers. Right? They don't bring that up. They don't bring it up when I had 30 views on a video. They don't bring up a lot of the other stuff, Noble HTX. What's up, Houston? Hitting people where it hurts and they can't stand it. I know they can't stand it, and I'm okay with that. There's like 600 people came in and out of the chat, and I got 147 likes. Even if you mad at me, you can hit the like button. LOL, the $1 mega bus. Man, these people love them mega bus specials. Think about that. You have a whole company called Megabus doing $9 transportation. But yet you have people stuck in California in homelessness. If they had a family somewhere else, wouldn't they get put $9 on the Megabus and just ride the Megabus over? Again, that's how dire straits. See, when people talk about this is the best economy ever, if your mindset is right, if your mindset is trash, you're still struggling. If your mindset is trash, you're still struggling. And people say, well, Erica, you had people help you and give you handouts and you honey, if you got a bad personality, what I got to do with that? You still can get a job and don't depend on your personality. And bougie we trust. Y'all for real. I tell my friends this and they act like it's so difficult. You do it every day. Honey, listen. I was talking to this guy and he's got 70,000 followers. And literally he was like, if just 70 of them, I think, what did he say, 70? If 70 of them would just give him $10 a month, he'd still want to do it. And I was like, your aim is so low. Because people want to participate in a good thing. If something's giving them value, they want to participate. That's all. Yeah, I make $1,500 a week driving trucks locally in Los Angeles. There you go, Alpha Trucker. And that's, you're a local driver, or what they would call a regional driver, but depending on if you're real local, you're a local driver. I wish I could talk to you before you leave for like 20 minutes. Man, I love Lisa. I don't know. I'm a little burnt out, y'all. That's why I'm just like, let's let it rip. Who cares? A business is no different than doing work projects. Yes, it's the same thing. Listen, when I create SOPs, which I'll teach in the YouTube class, SOP is standard operating procedure. What would you be doing today if like people say, well, I don't know what I'd make the VA do, Eric. I don't know if we need VAs. What do you do all day? And they don't even know. So type it down, track it. What do you do all day? Like, and the part of the reason I was so stressed out is I was doing 3 companies really. And I was like, nah, we done doing this. I had the accountant team step up. I had this team step up. I hired this person. You take over the blog. You take over that. I'm out. I'm done. I don't have to manually do it myself. It's all systems. And the more you treat it like a business, the better it'll pay you like a business. This is why Messiah mentioned preaching to the poor as well. A bunch of selfishness is a lot of us. It's why a lot of us broke. Yeah. Let's keep it a buck. Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that job. I would never do that. I would never deliver pizzas in North Carolina if I stayed in North Carolina. I knew too many people. I knew people in insurance and healthcare. They'd have been like, Erica, just come over here and work. I would have never had to stretch myself as I did when I came to Texas. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me, right? I would have been comfortable. Even if I can even pinpoint back in my life where I lived in Raleigh and one of my coworkers was a nice guy, was like, girl, we should go out on a date. And I was like laughing. I was like, this corny white dude. And to this day, my friend was like, if you'd have stayed in Raleigh when I moved, if you'd have stayed, y'all have got married and y'all have been living over here in Cary and everything would have been fine. I'm like, yeah, that's about right. That's about right. He married another black girl after me, but it didn't matter. I mean, that might have been his thing. It's all about proximity and projections. Are you putting yourself in environments where you can go live pretty well? Stress makes diamonds. There's a reason. Pressure makes diamonds. It just is what it is. And so a lot of people, they're comfortable and they don't want to let that comfortable shit go. And there's nothing you can say to them till it hurts, till their arm is twisted behind their back by bills. I better sell all this extra junk. Oh, we better do something about our business. I better do, you know what I mean? Even the guy when I was in LA and the guy was my Uber driver and he was saying how there's ageism. And it was like, by the time he realized he needed to switch jobs, it was too late. And they don't want older people in management. I'm like, what are you talking about? Every company needs older people in management right now because they have all these young people who don't know what the hell to do. These millennials, they ain't been in this deep of water before. So you got the WeWorks of the world where you got some young guy spending all the money like it's Kool-Aid. And then you have to have older people step in and go, no, like these are how we run companies in the past. You got to manage the budget. A business is a very efficient job. I'm a disagree and agree. Curtis Davis, if your business is a very efficient job, if you're not hiring people, then you really don't have a business. You do have a job. What I realized anytime I start anything in the future, like somebody had pitched something to me and I was like, only way I would even be interested in this is if I had somebody hired on already who gonna do all the management. And let's be really clear, when I put in before I deleted it, the people in group 4 who have companies, you're gonna start seeing people who are very highly skilled work for $10 an hour, 10 to 12. You already see it. Now, and when I say highly skilled, let me be careful. People who can do paperwork are going to be working for 10, 12 an hour. But from their home, they might not have to travel. Because I'm getting an office here in Upper Austin, and I was like, it's got 4 rooms, but do I need it? Do I want people coming into work every day? And I go, you know what? I don't need to come into work every day, but they do. People like going somewhere and showing up for work and getting out of their house. Everybody doesn't have a home office. Everybody doesn't have a home space that's conducive for work. Some people have roommates and they need to get up out of the office. So that's part of why I'm getting that office, because I'm like, oh, I have 2 or 3 people who work locally. And the crazy part is you can have people who are excited, y'all. They be like, I can work Monday, Wednesday, Friday and be off Tuesday, Thursday. Yes, I'll do it. For less money, yeah, I'll do it. Or you have people, I can work from 12 to 5 and be out. I'll do it. Like, y'all, if you could see some of these Indeed applications, blow your mind. Is it Grant Cardone conference, not Ty Lopez? I get an email from him every day trying to sell me more. He's cool though. Who? Grant Ty Lopez or Grant Cardone? I didn't put Brandon in no timeout. We have moderators. If Brandon was cutting up, then Brandon needed to be in timeout. Yeah, Chuck live. I know this is off topic, but are you affiliated with Hood Estates? Yes. Have you been watching this channel the past year? You may be new here, but yeah, the whole Hood Estates trucking course. That's where I started, and then I pivoted a little bit and deviated because I went to ECU and I was actually a business major, and I actually worked in finance, and so I actually know how to actually run investment clubs, and so I had just been stalling for a long time. And so when I turned the business model to actually run it, I was like, okay, now you have to have staff. You have to have, one girl who helps, facilitate, even if you have some VAs, help run emails and make sure people get paid on time and the group runs functionally. I would love to do in the spring a snow group for my investors. Like, come up to Park City, Utah, let's snowboard, which I still might do. Too old is an excuse. Yeah, I go to the gym and sometimes there'll be women there 45, 50, just just getting it on the Stairmaster. And I'm over there like, hey, help me, Lord, help me. And they're just killing it. So, it's really a mindset. If you think, well, I'm 50 now, I'm just going to get old and fat and fall down and can't walk. Like, it's a mindset. It's a mindset, man. There you go. Rick Ross purchased a bunch of Wingstop and put his family to work to keep them from calling him for money every month. Yeah. He just problem solved. And they were glad to do it. Here's the crazy part. I remember this couple has got a pizza franchise here in Austin, Texas. And they had a lazy son. He was 32 and lazy. And they made him a manager at first, but then eventually they made him like under another manager. And he was mad, but he was lazy. But they knew they had a lazy son, so they put a franchise and they let him work in it. I just made a video about credit, money, food storage, because all of us is broke despite making 60 to 80K a year. The Rethink Nurse. See, here's the thing. 60 to 80K. Listen, I told y'all when I watched that corporate, there was a corporate company talking about who they were marketing to. And somebody on Instagram started sharing their stuff. And they were like, the demographic we're marketing to are people, our families that make $135,000 a year. We've updated our data. That's the only people we're going to market to. Why? $135,000 is the new middle class, y'all. I'm telling you. Like, people are like, I live in nowhere, Ohio, and make 80K a year. I'm middle class. Okay. Calm down. Clearly, we're not talking to you. Clearly, you're doing well in your small town. But out here in the real world, as they say it, and not even just the real world, but it just in general, out here, that's less than you think. Now, 60, 80K is good money, but it's less than you think. I remember some guy saying that his mom was a single mom, but she was a nurse, and he always was dressed nice and went to school. Yeah, he was living in a small town. His mom was making 70K a year. In comparison, she was doing what? Better than most people. See, there's always layers to these stories, right? When you see these stories like, single mom raises guy to be a master's degree. Wait, dig into the story. How much did the single mom make a year? Like, you think a lot of single moms are not out here winning like that. They're usually struggling. But what's the finances of the mom? What's the smarts of the mom? What's the mentality of the mother? Again, it's very important. I love it. First Lady Legacy. Me, I'm 40, started watching you a few months ago. I just realized one day I got to do something else. This ain't it. Sometimes you just wake up and go, this ain't it. Older folks have an advantage over young. They do. they do. Y'all think I'm joking? Yes, I teach in Hood Estates Elite course. YouTube is not the end goal. Exactly. Listen, y'all. Come on, man. Do you think this is what I want to do for the next 30 years? Let's be honest. I enjoy talking to people. I can do a radio show. I can do a lot of stuff. But again, it's all, you can make a career out of it. When I mean you make a career, look at some of the people that were on YouTube. They're literally public speakers. They're literally making millions of dollars off public speaking. Again, look at Eric Thomas, hip hop preacher. The videos are just a lead magnet. That's all they are. You know, I literally could go be Harlem Capital next year. You never know. Just saying. Price of the YouTube course, T-Socks is $2,000. And the next round will be $5,000. And people say, but why? Why are you making people pay this? Because you're going to have a private Facebook group. You're going to have weekly live 2-hour Q&A every Wednesday. It's on the chart here. Every Wednesday until, is that February or March? For 12 weeks, basically. You're going to be out there. Why? Because I know this. I know what $0 to $3 million looks like. And everybody's out here trying to have a viral channel, make stuff go viral. And you ain't even got to do that. You can make a killing on smaller channels. Google some of these videos about smaller channels making more money than bigger channels. Happens all the time. But it's up to you. Again, social proof is out there. You can go look at my Instagram. You can see all the conferences. You see I did over 32 first-class flights. You see I did all these hotel stays and conferences. But again, you know, oh, but you ain't got like 1 million subscribers. I know. But you can make $1 million without 1 million subscribers. Yeah, it's crazy. So, so it ain't gonna be cheap. Life has chapters. Nothing wrong with turning the page. There you go. Nothing wrong. Listen, look at Jeff Rose. Jeff Rose came on YouTube, military veteran, had like an Edward Jones kind of investment company, and was making so much money off YouTube, was like, yeah, I'm done with that. Literally sold that company. And you have to watch these people YouTube channels. They be selling stuff all the time. If you don't pay attention, you'll look up and be like, oh, you don't do that no more? Nah, man, I don't do that no more. They sell these things all the time. Again, that's why I say when you see these van life and these minimalist people like, I'm totally minimalism. It's minimalism for life. And then all of a sudden they move to somewhere nice. Okay, cool. You were just broke. Just be honest. You're watching a homeless person with a camera. That's what you're watching. Okay? Now, another thing that I love and that I think they're going to get punished, unfortunately, is homesteading channels and homeschooling channels. The FTC is going to come after them. I mean, there are people who have small farms, 2 acre, 3 acre, 4 acre, making a killing off this YouTube thing. Because people want to see how to do a farm. You know, if you run a farm and yeah, you at the farmers markets every Saturday and you get a $4,000 check from YouTube AdSense, and then you have a little PDF book on how to run a farm and you make another $10,000 a month off the PDF, then you open it up so that you can sell your chickens and your sauces, and your wife makes a jam. You can sell it anywhere on the internet from via YouTube. Now you're making the real money. You quit going to farmers markets, don't you? You don't have to. If you look on here, if you notice on the right here on Facebook, on Facebook ads, there's a actual farm out here in Austin. They sell high grade Kobe beef. They don't have any big market distributors. They literally run Facebook ads and sell direct to consumer. Because Austin's full of what? Wealthy engineers with money, company CEOs that make $250K a year, $300K a year. Oh, we can spend $300 and get, beef direct to our house, fresh, farmers movement. Again, I'm trying to get y'all to see that level 1 and level 2, the reduction, the minimalism, the shrinking, the level 2 where you're squeezed to death making money. Look where the moms are shopping. Walmart and Target. Do you think those places give you high quality meats and veggies? Do you think Walmart gives you high quality meats and veggies? I really want y'all to answer that. Or do you think you're going to get higher quality veggie meats from Publix and some of these other stores and Kroger and Harris Teeter? I mean, you're not going to get, again, what are you eating? What are you consuming? How is it treating you? And your body starts to change. Like, I tried to go back and eat at a restaurant we used to eat at here in Austin. I got sick immediately, y'all. I was like, this is disgusting. They're like, we used to hear you all the time. As you start changing your body and your food and the quality of your food, you won't go back. It all ties in. It all ties in. You know, it's up to you guys. It's up to you guys to want better. There's nothing wrong with attending college for business. Here's the thing though. You probably could go do associate. You could do one or two classes. Like if you really were like, hey, Eric, I just really want to go ahead and start a business and keep it moving, you probably could leave go to your community college for accounting, to get your business accounting numbers and like overall macroeconomics. But if you find somebody, not just on YouTube, but anywhere, if you find somebody doing what you're wanting to do in life, first of all, I would even pull a Jared. I'd go move to where that person was if they were open to hiring me and go live near them, watch them, observe them, how they do everyday life. Number two, I would go take, there's like, again, I make a joke about it, but you literally could buy 10 to 50 books in a particular category, watch about 50 videos on that particular category, and go out in this world and replicate it and duplicate it. But the only difference is the reason you turn it from a hustle and a self-employment to a business is when you hire other people underneath you. And again, you need systems for that. You need, if you were a guy, girl, and you had maybe 40,000 in credit cards, right? 2 credit cards, each one has 20 accounted, and you pay enough for your marketing and enough for you to cold call, enough to cover your rent for 3 months, and maybe hire one other person, you'd be off to the races. So, I mean, I'm never going to tell people not to go to college. I'm never going to do that. But I am going to say you could be smarter about it. Hey, Andre Ford, I'm older than you. I respect you and admire you. Your knowledge and viewpoint are changing my life. I dare say the same is true for many other viewers. Thank you. Thank you for the $20 super chat, Goldie. Thank you. I appreciate it. Cheap seats is not worth it. Don't go off, Erica. It's your channel. You can go off as necessary. Frugal is a problem. Anytime money dictates how you live, you probably don't have enough money to live your way you want. Listen, honey. Listen, Robbie Rob. You know what I do? I make a decision. I'm going to go to Japan, South Korea, and Thailand in first class. That's it. No other doubts. I want a seat that lays all the way back. I want to chill. I want to play on my YouTube, go and play videos. I don't want to think about it. I don't care it's $5,000 for a first class seat. I had somebody tell me, well, I'm just going to pay the $1,000 for the 11-hour flight and sit in a tight chair. Are you kidding me? No. I'm going to pay that $5,000. That flight's going to stop me in Japan for a few days, actually almost a week, and then it's going to take me on to South Korea, and then it's going to stop me in Thailand. It's worth $5,000 to me for every step of the way to be in a laid-back seat. I'm sorry. No. I won't do it. I'm not going to ride for 9 hours. And then the bathrooms in first class are bigger. Not on all planes, but when you get on them Boeings, huge first class bathrooms. Sorry, not doing it. Can't. It doesn't make any sense to me. It makes no sense to me. Cheap is different from practical. Exactly. If someone would say practical, I would even roll with them. Right? Now, frugal, you could talk to your spouse about cooking meals every day at home for the children and her stay home, and that would be practical. Not frugal, but practical. I've priced first class tickets and there's a notable price difference. Taja Mahal, again, remember, there is, when you sign up for United Mal Plus, or you sign up for different like Delta, everybody name off the groups, Delta and United and all the stuff they call their groups. Once you keep buying and you log in, they know you get all these miles are tracked. Okay. And also when you use credit cards, I use credit cards for one credit card for my business, and it racks up several thousands of dollars a month. I have so many points that if I want to use the points, all I'm paying for is taxes. So again, I don't let the price stop me. I go, that's $1,000. I'm going any damn way. Because I've bought a lot of tickets like 3 hours before the flight and had to call United and be like, I just bought this ticket. I need my confirmation. So. I know owner-operators making $250K a year with receipts, and still most of my friends make excuses on why they can't drive YOLO. Listen. And then again, What's his name? King Nick? No, not King Nick. Nick Taylor just talked about ran into a family. The father drives trucks, the mom drives truck, the daughters. They won't drive forever. They're Mexican. Well, they're El Salvadorian probably. And what they're gonna do is drive for 2 years, turn around, rent them trucks out, go home, have babies, and live great lives. And then probably buy some other investments. Do something local. Trust me. I'm in Texas, and Texas is, if you're an immigrant in Texas, you're thriving. Thriving like no other place in America. Now I would say Georgia, Venezuelans are doing really well in Georgia. Y'all don't let them Venezuelans come up over there in Atlanta and build up everything. Now when you go to those construction sites, they're not Mexicans, they're Venezuelans. Ask them. That's why when people, when America be like, oh, we don't want these rogue immigrants coming over here. Why? Because they send money home. Mexico isn't sending no more people. I think y'all don't understand this. Mexico ain't sending no more people because they've had kids and cousins for 20 years sending $100 to $500 a home every week. They're stabilized in most parts of Mexico. They good. They'll live there and be like, I'm good. But what you see people coming is El Salvadorians, Venezuelans, Colombians. It's people who are further down that ain't good that's coming through Mexico. And Mexico tired of them walking through Mexico. Go Google the news. See, y'all don't really see the news like I see news. Go look up the news where Mexico be at the border beating people's ass. Go look it up. It's a real thing. They be beating these Africans, beating Jamaicans. Like, what y'all doing coming through our country like this? Okay, the same way y'all was coming 20 years ago, rolling to America. We trying to get to America. Again, when Barack Obama told them Haitians they could come from Brazil to United States, if they got here, he would take them. Now, how long do you think it's going to take to get from Brazil to America border? Long time. Most people say that's going to take that's going to take months and months. Them people were there in 2 weeks. It was 80,000 people at the border in 2 weeks. And all of a sudden, Barack Obama was like, no, we changed our mind. These are people with degrees. These are Haitians that speak English and Spanish. Again, these people was coming. They weren't playing. They're not here to play. They're going to get here. And I'll tell you, if you got at least, Haiti has what, 10 million people? If you get not even 1 million Haitians, if you get 500,000 Haitians really here working and sending money back, man, Haiti will look like Miami in no time. And that's just because that's how money works. It keeps flooding the market, building it up. They have a lot of corruption, but they also spent the past 100 years paying France back. We don't talk about the northern African countries that have been paying France back for 50 years, almost 100 years. France is thriving off the money that they made their colonies pay them back. Unlike Britain and other people, Britain was like, oh, well, America shot us in the ass. We ain't gonna make them pay no money back. But France ain't playing. France has troops in parts of Africa and parts of other countries. So they just ain't going to Haiti because they know Haiti kicked their ass. I love my budget and cheap in some places. You can be cheap about some things or practical. Like I made a chili and I bought dry beans and dry this and that. And we were like, oh, you're gonna take a long time to make it. I'm like, and you have to pick your limits on stuff. I can't anything other than Marriott. I'm frugal drinking tap water. Yeah. Exactly, bed bugs. Listen, one time we went on a trip to Jamaica, Queens, and I told them the hotel they was in had bed bugs. And they're like, oh, Erica, it's fine. He gave us a hotel free. I'm like, ain't nothing free enough for me to sleep with no bed bugs. So I'm at this other hotel across the street, and guess what? All of them were like, my leg got bit up, my ankle. Asia like, my leg. I'm like, okay, I told y'all. You have to be careful about being comfortable accepting less. Listen, and people will find the exit. What people don't understand is if you start going to conferences and events and banquets and balls, some people will find an exit in your life, and that's okay. New people will come in. That happens every day in America. The Dollar General has great towels for $10. Nobody messing with y'all tonight. I'm not messing with y'all. She was at Walmart pretty late too. Exactly, man. What's she doing there at 1 a.m. at Walmart? Other than expecting to get beat up. Ben the bartender, not the cheap drive up to the dough motels. Those still make money. I kind of want to buy one. Them RV people, they don't sleep in their RV every night. They be cold. Them van people be sleeping in the Motel 6s. True, I met a trucker. He stayed at a high-rise bike downtown. He was black. Yeah, they be. Erica holding church today. I'm trying. Thank you for the 200 likes. There's 420 people here. That's a good point. What was Trina doing at Walmart? What you doing at Walmart at almost late night? Walmart is a scary place. Dark age thinking people. Trina was trying to get her patty pie. I'm not messing with y'all. Y'all hilarious. Frugality and cheapness is for college students and post-grad life. Please stop with the poverty mindset. Right? And again, it's called lifestyle creep for a reason, right? We make more money, our lifestyle goes up. But again, people are trying to live on that gross, and really they only get net in life. Thread count is everything, that is all. Let me tell you something. One time I was dating this guy, and his couch was cheap. His other stuff was cheap. He had an old car. I didn't care about the old car part. I didn't care about that part. But everything in the apartment looked like Walmart cooking pans, and I was trying to think, wrap my head around, was he being frugal and cautious and practical, or was old boy cheap? And then we went on a couple more dates, and I realized old boy was cheap. He was cheap. He probably had cheap mattress thread. He probably had cheap comforters, cheap towels. I don't know. But there's a difference. When people talk, they tell on themselves. Man, I ain't paying for that. Oh, you left that waitress $5? Oh, you did this? I was like, ooh, can't hang with you, brother. Can't hang with you. Are there any wholesaling courses you would recommend? Lieutenant Johnson, we bring on Cousin Nita all the time. Cousin Nita's class is the only one I would recommend. Most cheap people overspend. They buy more than they need because it's on sale. Good point, Smith. But it's cheap, so then it's going to break and they're going to throw it out. Money is to be used. Just use it right. Correction. Exactly. Money's to be used. Japanese own stuff in California. They do. They didn't come to play. When they got them out of them camps and they was cutting them checks, they did not come to play. So in the 1980s, it was a real thing that Asian people were getting beat up and assaulted and punched and all this other stuff. Not no more. You ain't going to run up on no. Now, what I was going to bring up earlier is I forgot. It's the Chinese air. Prime example. Now, there's a couple people talking about it that I'm not the biggest fan of. But long story short, the girl parents sent her to America. This is something that's been happening for a long time. They're in China, real estate developers making tons of money. They put her in California. She in California throwing draws like she's crazy. She's 33. Her baby daddy was 27. You do the math on that. Okay? So that means her oldest child's 5 years old. That means he was 22 and she was 29 or something like that. Anyway, so she has not one but two babies by this guy. She mad because he cheating. He young. She millionaire. She living in a $9 million mansion in California. Her parents don't put her in. And guess what? She gets another dude, and that dude shoots and kills the black guy. And they get her, basically her chauffeur, which is another black guy. Really, let me be clear. He's not a black guy. He's a Jamaican. He's an island black person. They don't consider themselves black sometimes. And they go get him to dispose of the body. Now, he was going to get immunity if he snitched on them. But because he talked to somebody on Instagram, they threw that immunity away. He went to jail. Okay? But literally, they gave this girl $35 million bond in California. They thought, no way. $35 million bond, she ain't going to make it. Guess what? Her parents from China dropped $35 million. And guess what? The jury doesn't convict her. Even though she came to the police office. And when they started doing the interrogation, yeah, he was threatening, asking me for money for these children. If you give me $40 million, I'll go away and I'll never say anything about these children. I'll give up my parental rights. And she basically said, yeah, I killed him. Came back to the house and we shot him. Yeah. Now, she's not guilty. Her other dude that she was dating that shot him in the mouth, it's a hung trial. He's still in jail though. That $35 million bond was just for her. And the other black dude is in jail. Now, this woman's about to get these children and roll up out of California and probably head back to China. Now, what does this have to do with assets and supremacy and investing? What does this all have to do? When you start investing big dollars, you think that your child's going to go to jail? You think that Juries don't look at you different? You don't think that society treats you different? Now, I'm not advocating y'all going out here getting money and murdering people. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant to imply. But what I'm trying to say is when a community or particular people, your parents, own things, the laws and things don't apply to you the same. Prime example, Joe Biden's niece stole somebody's credit card, one of her sugar daddies, ran that bad boy up $100,000 buying pills and doing all kind of crazy stuff with it. He called the police. They take it to court. When you play with people's credit cards or anytime they cash or write checks, that's actual wire fraud, bank fraud. That's Fed time. Guess what she gets? Probation. Now, anybody we know still $100,000 on somebody's credit card and they checkbook from old sugar daddy Sam is going to jail. All I'm trying to say to y'all, oh Lord, we done went an hour and 30 minutes. All I'm trying to say to y'all is I'm not trying to live poor in this life for nobody. I'm not trying to live poor for my children. I'm not trying to cheat my way out of life. I'm willing to sacrifice a year or two, invest nicely, and live well because it's out here. It's America. People are coming to this country from other countries, straight up acting the fool, and gonna keep living their life. Because we have one of the best, one of the best legal systems in America. We have one of the best but weirdest banking systems in America. We have one of the best but crazy credit card systems in America. People come here. I'm in a group where right now on Facebook, I'm in a particular group I paid to be in. They literally are people coming from Australia, Canada, and what's the other country? It's coming from somewhere else. Somewhere in Germany or somewhere like Sweden or something. And they're coming to America, not because they're ready to come to America, because they want to get the credit card system. They're literally coming over here, getting visas, so that they can get the credit card system. Because we have all these credit cards, and it's a whole different system. I think y'all missing the big game that's being played in front of you, and you don't even know it. So, China and Russia doing the same with Africa. Oh my God, Trina was in Walmart looking crazy in sweatpants and a head wrap and expected to be treated like the queen of rap. Dr. Amos Wilson. There you go. David Murray, never met a millionaire, got here before. However, Asians are buying Detroit. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Right now, there's a series of people, I can't even mention their name. They're in Hawaii. They would love to work with me and buying up Detroit. And I'm like, yeah, I'm working with my investment group right now. We're just chilling. We're gonna sit and see. There's whole groups buying up 15, 20 houses in Saginaw, other parts of Detroit. There are Russians and Israelis buying up Detroit. Even Shay Show has shown you that they got Israelis buying up Detroit. Asia's had Brazilians come up to Detroit. Nigerian here. You quote AM1, let me reboot my system. Well, it's a better word. Asset supremacy is a much better word than Asian supremacy. Because if you really think about it, anybody can come do it. If you start buying assets, again, prime example, when you live in a smaller town, you can be the big fish. And I love watching Hallmark movies because they crack me up because people be owning little bookstores and coffee shops because they own the building. It's so cheap to own the building that they ain't got to worry about rent. They just run the business. If they own it. And what I see happen is there'll be people that'll go to a smaller town, buy up the strip, and then slowly let people live, rent the space out for $200, $300 those first couple years to get the downtown on and popping, and then turn around and sell it. Do you know how many deals I've been reviewing that are just like that, where some guy went to some little smaller part of Texas and bought up 4 buildings in a row and kind of revitalized the downtown and now wants to sell it for like $1 million, and you're like, bro, you bought those buildings for like $30K a piece. Get out of here. And that's all that is. Asset supremacy. Oh my God. Spirit's last seat directly near this lavatory with the engine roaring directly in your ear. Holy crap. African immigrants did not come to play. Yeah. Scarcity mindset. If Erica has helped you in 29, please share this video and send a super chat. Thanks. Thank you, Andre Hatchett. It's true about those hotels. They are going down even. There's a difference in being cheap or saving for investment versus something bigger versus settling for less in life. Again, cheap, frugal, we can use different words, the vernacular. We need more words to describe. This may even sound mean, but did his mom do a wellness check? I read her, she only contacted him twice a month, but still 3 years. This is the deal. Again, she didn't have his right address, and homeboy wasn't forwarding his mail, so it's almost like the trail went cold. It's very hard to put a missing report on people when you don't have all their information. Like when Glenn Cameron, which he could be mad if he watches this, but when he looked like he was having like a stroke or something on camera, and his head was down and he was asleep for like a good 5 minutes, and people were like, "Erica, help!" I'm like, "Ain't shit I can do. We just all know the same information." Glenn Cameron, Sandy Springs. Patrick Cameron, Sandy Springs. Somebody call 911, right? Like they would have to go look his information up. Nina, Erica with these reality checks. I'm just trying to help folks, you know? Nut crab ladies. Sorry. Oh. Oh, Joe knew that's inappropriate. Listen, Derek R. just said all of Americans on food stamps. I'm proud of it. We have 40 million Americans on food stamps. Let's do the math. If they didn't physically have food stamps and they had to line up somewhere, we would have what? Bread lines. We'd have riots. Again, I remember when they had a glitch in the food stamp system for two or 3 days, and people were at grocery stores with carts, $900 in food, and guess what? My children need food. This, that. Like you get $900 a month every month, and you ain't bought enough food for your children to eat more than 1 month. Again, this is bad training. This is bad. I'm not even going to say it's bad parenting. I'm going to say it's bad training, because you should always have some chicken, rice, and dried beans at your house. That's just common sense. But you have people in America living la vida loca. This is a very underrated channel. Thank you. I try. Thank you, Andre, for posting the planner. I bet they know if a cop asked them where they were on Tuesday. This is true. People be like, I don't know. Mindset, resource, opportunities. Elderly folks need money. They do. A job is a job. Ooh, Derek. No. Go write books, lose weight, learn coding, get a second job, save mercy. Help my mother more and just freaking level up. Listen, and you got to track it. You got to write it down. What can you accomplish the most in 90 days? There was a video, and I keep trying to tell y'all about this video. This girl was 300 pounds. Black girl. Smart, beautiful, young girl. Cute face. She literally went to the gym every day for 100 days and lost 80 pounds, y'all. Just tracking. Just consistency. Just said, you know what I'm going to do every day for 100 days? Do this one thing. I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to eat some chicken. I think she ate like baked chicken every day. 80 pounds. 80 pounds. People, when you don't track, you don't know. When you don't put a box around yourself, you don't know. When people have no restraint on their diet and their behaviors, they go cray cray. I had a friend who made $90,000 in the oil field one year. He said he didn't know what happened to all the money. He literally went and married his ex-girlfriend, a little chubby girl who was an accountant. He living good now. He living hella good. She got all that $90,000 working hard, okay? They got investments now. But people without some kind of discipline or tracking, again, we've seen this in the military. You see a guy who gets up every day in the military, he jogging, he running, he looking like a rock. He like the Rock Johnson. He get out the military looking like Thor body. What happened? Every day he was forced to work out. Every day he was forced to have a schedule. When he got out of that, he didn't have no schedule. Okay? That happens. With the way they throwing bowls at Mickey D's, I feel sorry for these poor grannies. Exactly. If I'm a grandmother or I'm someone who really wanted to go back to work, again, back in the day, you used to have a lot of nurses and teachers. You might as well go back and work for the school system. Why fast food? Mofo's not going to do anything till they tired, being broke, and living check to check. I mean, they show you, studies show when people have a heart attack, they usually never have a second heart attack because they immediately change their diet, life, and everything. I think it's like 80%. I remember those days you were getting 30 views as a good conservative sister. Listen, it happens. Government isn't going to protect or baby us. Take advantage of government opportunities like the rich and stay strapped for criminals. But that's just it. You know, you have these kids out here, you know, robbing and doing stupid stuff. You'd be like, baby, what kind of caveman mama do you have that you can't use your little phone and your brain to sell stuff or sell stuff out of your house or build something? I mean, there's too many ways to fucking win now. It's too many. TNT Jones, 31 trucks over here transporting frack and concrete sand. TNT Jones got all the money. Y'all go ask TNT Jones for a loan. Thank you, T-Socks. You are from Cary, Erica? No, I'm not from Cary. I'm from North Carolina, but when I was working and living in Raleigh, there was a really nice guy who was moving up in life, and I should have been like, you know what? I'll take you. I'll take you, white boy. Yeah, let's go. It's just funny. Vocal Dr. Stephanie Derrick. Okay. Asset supremacy, repeat that all weekend and give it credit to Eric. I'm telling you. But look at what's happening. Again, you have whole Nigeria. Listen, on YouTube right now, you have about 20 of like the top black YouTubers. They all Nigerian and what's the other guy? One of the guys is Cambodian. No, not Cambodian. What's it called? Congolese. Congolese. I don't know how you say it right. The Congo. And one dude's from South Africa. And people are like, oh, they're black. I'm like, wait, do you even know who they are? Did you even Google them? Did you even review them? Yeah, it wasn't until Lovey had a wedding and other people, they have a whole culture that ain't American black. Yes, half of America go. We're under a global currency reset. What to do? Stockpile food and water, release and pray. But that's just it. There's a show on Netflix. If you want to watch it and blow your mind, it's called The 3%. And it's like the ultra rich will live in cities and the poor will live out in the boondocks. And I laugh about it, but it's almost coming true. The city, you know, short commutes, ride the bus, transportation, really easy. That's happening. It's so expensive that only certain people live here. And now all they got to figure out is the homeless problem. How do we put all these homeless people out of the city? That's all they're trying to figure out right now. That's why they start building these camps in the middle of nowhere. You can go live out there. You're not going to live in the city. You can live out there. Okay? Y'all pay attention. And so you have to decide. If you know things are getting more expensive, housing is not taking a break. People out here waiting for the recession like, Lord, please, recession so I can afford a house. Nah, baby, you need to make more money. You make more money. And you know how many calls I used to get where men be like, my wife got pregnant and she's not working for 3 months and we didn't plan for this. What do you mean you didn't plan for this? Don't you know she a woman and they have babies? What? Get that money up. That shouldn't even be what crosses your mind. We had a baby and she ain't working. Okay, well if she don't work for 3 years. What if something happened to your wife when she had the baby and then couldn't go back to work ever? People ain't thinking like that though. They out here wanting to drive BMWs and live in apartments and shit. Y'all better get your mind right. You better get somebody that's planning ahead. Comfort is the biggest reason people fail or don't succeed. Co-working spaces are great things. They're really great. Megabus doesn't travel outside of California. There's megabuses here in Texas. There's megabuses here in every city and every state. There's megabuses that move you around, right? Greyhound, all these. Greyhound be $49 to go to freaking California. My mom and Art are like this, 65-year-olds and starting to act like old ladies. Meanwhile, my 90-year-old grandma walking circles around. I'm telling you, it's up here. It's up here. My mom is like, I want to go back to work. I want to go back to work. I'm like, you're medically retired from the military. You're medically retired. Like, you have 100K coming in. What do you want more? So now we're like, okay, we got to give mom a business. We got to give her something to do in town. We're going to make her manage all the properties, get her, we're even debating on her open up a hair salon so she can go in there and manage it. Because she really don't want to work. She just want to come up in somewhere and be all up in the space. But again, you have to, it's up here. I make 60K in New York, and I'm here to tell you that it's not enough. Thank you, Black Caesar. Oh, thank you, Doran. Self-employed plus business owner. Thank you. They're two different things. Very different. Nurses make good money, 60K to 150K a year. Oh, yes, nurses make money. My aunt is she went up from administrative back down to surgical, but she was making 100K plus. Nurses be making money. That's why when people be like, oh, your mama been tripping, and like I've seen divorced nurses live just fine. Husband leave, house still there, car still there, nothing changed. Nurses make money now. Where do I pay? Pay for what, a YouTube course? That Mountain Water Springs not cheap. It's $349 here. Mountain Valley, only the best for your girl Erica. I need quality water to talk on the hair. I need the best water. Erica, will there be a payment option or one pay? I haven't even touched that part of it. I've been only working on the drip side. I may be able to split it in two. I don't know. I ain't even thought about it that far. I'm 25 and just found you in 2 days. I love your channel. I really want to be successful. Taking all the information love from the UK. Thank you, London. E.T. frogged over Anthony Roberts with ease. Oh, my. Your financial status has nothing to do with whether or not you're single. What they talking about, Chantel? What y'all talking about over here? Thank you for the $5 super chat, retired nurse. How the hell can peeps come to your channel and tell you what to talk about? Honey, every day they try me. I'm like you ever see in a circus where the man's got the whip like, back up. You have to whip the people like, no, back up. Thank you, Miss Williams. The Banker, Danny Glover, Haiti, even Monique Shenanigans prove the need for our own platforms. Honey, we make things go viral. We are the sauce that is America. We make chicken go viral. We make wigs. Listen. And, Glenn and Cameron, somebody else disagreed with me like, oh, white women don't be wearing extensions. Honey, it's $1 billion industry for just white girl hair extensions. And it's not poor white women wearing extensions. Like some of the wealthiest YouTubers you see on here got hair extensions. There's a girl right now, her husband has a $3 million business. She wears hair extensions. And she's only 25. She's like, I have thin hair. So she wears hair extensions all the time. So again, this whole like, oh, black women hair. No, honey. There is a girl called Me M-I Icon, IKON. She just sold her Luxy hair extension company for over, I think, $70 million. Her and Alex, they're rich beyond belief. Rich beyond belief. And then a few years ago, if you look back, they were on Gary Vee asking him questions about business. And they had 7 employees. By the time they sold it, bananas. And that's just 3 years. That's how serious. And like she went from Instagram taking all these pictures, showing the hair, doing the hair, all of a sudden to like, I'm going to stay home with this baby. And Alex can run stuff. Oh, we don't even want to do that anymore. We're going to sell it. All they do is stay in South Africa in big old houses, and Italy, Positano in big old houses, and in London in big old houses. And now they're starting to come back towards California. Honey, it's a whole nother world out there if you really want it. Oh, they're not coming after farmers. They're coming after YouTubers. YouTube channels that are directed towards children, or the marketing is towards children. And so a lot of parents, homeschoolers, have been using YouTube showing farms and stuff like that. And even some of the elementary schools have been showing some YouTube channels that show farms and different things like that. And so it's a slippery slope. Ew, D, no. See, but that's the thing. Where does your food come from? And people don't be wanting to know. And I'd be like, I only get, what's up, brother Ben X? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I only get food from farmers market. That's what I'm starting to do. If you guys, I'll do a video on it when I move to my new house. where I pretty much only order. I'm getting my new deep freezer when I get there, and I'm gonna show y'all where I literally go to the local farms here in Austin and buy my food direct. I ain't playing with y'all because I realize the more people I talk to, some things, the chemicals in the food, they're bloating us up. The alcohol, the liquor, the milk. Again, I'm on the oat milk challenge. I'm back to just almond milk and oat milk. Like a lot of things, I'm just cutting because you can see it's the food. You can't, these kids acting damn crazy all day. It ain't chemicals and sodas. It's chemicals in the food. But again, when you see wealthier families and the wife is skinny and these people are skinny, oh, she got a shelf and a trainer. It's not just that, it's the quality of food they're eating. Okay? I don't want Skynet to cut me off, so I'm going to back off that conversation. But again, look at y'all. Y'all out here eating, this Chick-fil-A, this stuff. I remember trying to eat, what did I try to eat? Whataburger. And I got sick to my stomach. I hadn't had it in a year. And I was like, this is so processed. This is disgusting. Now, back in the day, your girl used to eat Whataburger all the time. I cannot eat it. I'll throw up in my car. Y'all, I'm not joking. And what happens is if you actually pull away from these foods and you start trying to go back and eat them, your stomach will tell you it's upset. Like, no, this is bad. This is bad. What's up, Kalal? Kalal Laws, thank you for the $5 super chat. I got a finance degree and I couldn't agree more. I would not go to school for finance. You can learn more about business from reading and doing. Oh, yeah. Now, the only thing about school for finance is who you connect with. I went to East Carolina University. There was a black football player. He wasn't that great. I'm sorry. I know it's awful to say. He wasn't that great. He was always on the bench, but he was in my finance and he hung out with the white fraternity boys. And guess where? I remember we were graduating. He was like, I'm going to the stock market, Wall Street. One of them dudes put a favor in for him. Oh, this famous football player wants to come to Wall Street. And a company took him. It's about who you know. It's about who you know. Oh, you going to Thailand too? That's what's up. I agree with you. Flat-blade seats worth every penny. Thank you for the $3.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Farida James. Work at Amazon, FC, swing trading, and getting tech certs. Congratulations. Oh, yeah, I have a Brita filter. I have a big old Brita filter. Candace P, I love living my bougie life. I always travel first class or pay for extra leg room. Fast track. I love my monthly small business. I'm not giving it up for nothing. Listen, when I was sitting at this event and the women were talking and I was listening to them and all these wives were like telling me where they go get their personal massages and they get sauna and they get cryotherapy. And I said, you know what? That's what I need. I'm telling you, it's life-changing. Weekly, I go get cryotherapy, I get sauna, I get a massage. I always keep my fingers and toes done all the time, but I do try. It's a different life. It's a different life. And so when you have a wife or husband and wife struggling financially and you can't get your wife to get a personal trainer, a chef, cryotherapy to release her back energy, something, I don't understand how people think they're going to have healthy, happy, productive things. You just need money to live, people. Thank you for the $5 super chat, businessman. I'm in over the road mail delivery, which is OTR, means over the road. Can you please post your trucking course link? It's Hood Estates link. I don't know if anybody in the chat's posted, but it's not my trucking course. It's their trucking course. Again, the key here is what you have to understand is out of 3.5 million truckers on the road, only 380,000 own a truck. There was articles I shared on here a couple videos ago where the guy was making $212,000 a year because he owned his truck. And he was like 65. He was still driving just because he wanted to drive. And the big money is when you own the truck and just rent that bad boy out. A lot of people, what they run into is like, well, Erica, when I went to go buy a truck, they couldn't believe I didn't have a CDL. Yeah, because the average fucking salesperson's dumb and poor too. They don't know. But 15% of the marketplace is owners. Third-party owners, where you just own the truck and somebody else drives it. So when Nick Taylor was telling about he ran into a family where the father, the mother, and the daughters were driving, watch in a couple years. Those two daughters are going to lease those trucks out to some dude, let some young dude drive for them, and keep it moving. People don't notice the fine details, yeah. $1 million Haitians in the U.S. have been sending money to Haiti for decades. Listen, but I mean like a concentrated new force. You know what I'm saying? Somalia right now. Somalia. Remember the whole pirating thing? People just thought, oh, Somalia's got pirates. What they didn't pay attention to the story is Japan was overfishing their waters, and also the United States. George Bush. There was a company that Somalia created that was just like Western Union. Western Union used the arm of the law to make it get shut down and said they're sending terrorist money. So George Bush and the Congress went ahead and closed them down and said nobody in America can send money via this other company that wasn't Western Union. And so Somalia, the country, was like, F you, Western Union, we ain't taking you. When they shut that shut down all the Somali people sending money home. That sent money home weekly. And guess what you had pop in the news for the next whole year? Somali pirates. That's how powerful living in America is. That's how powerful being able to send money home is. You shut down their Western Union for 1 year, and now all of a sudden the news is covered in Somali pirates. Because they weren't trying to attack American ships. They were only attacking Japanese ships. So Japanese ships started taking their flag down and putting up other flags in other countries. Trust. There's a whole backstory there people don't even pay attention. Thank you, E. Ago, for the $20 super chat. I own several investment properties in the tri-state area. My coworkers look at me crazy when I tell them I don't track how much my job pays me. Yes, live your best life. Now, even on top of this, I have a friend. She was making $120,000 a year. They gave her a $5,000 raise. No, they gave her, was it $5,000 or $7,000? I think it's $7,000. But they didn't pay her for 6 months. And she didn't notice it. She went to HR and said, y'all didn't pay me. They said, oh, honey, why don't you come in here like with the first check? Oh, I didn't even notice. 6 months, y'all. Girl owns rentals. She ain't paying attention. She be at work just working. Just doing work. She like to be out of the house. What are some of the places you get your food from? I always, when I go to the farmer market, I see if a particular farmer does their own meat processing. And then when I find out they do, then I actually get my meat from that particular place. I'll do a video on a list of farms here in Austin and outside of Austin and Lockhart. Lockhart is huge for cattle and beef. If you want grass-fed beef in the United States, this is part of your best area to do it. You want Kobe beef. The guy's a veteran. He's running a farm off that military money. It's a great place to do it. Thank you. Yes, golden class. Eric, I'm doing my first paint job right now. 4,500 profit, day one work. Congratulations. What else? Am I missing something? Happy and frugal. Good luck. I always watch how much people around me tip. I know I can't rock with them. Dark man Jeff, that's a big thing for me. I remember I dropped $20 one time. Somebody was like, ooh, $20? I was like, look at this restaurant we're in. This is a high-end restaurant. Yeah, I'm giving this girl $20. Keep it moving. Low thread count is like sleeping on May. It is. Oh, that Asian chick that killed her black boyfriend? Yeah, and he was a half black. So he was really light-skinned, but his name was Keith Green. I'm sorry to not give his full name. But this is the thing. When I was in California, black people try to like, oh, we're all a melting pot out here. It's all cool. I'm like, nah, it ain't going down like that at court. It ain't on one healthy melting pot at the court. She got off, yeah. She really did plan that murder. She really did. It was crazy. Taj Mahal, not necessarily. At least Ghana severed ties with France lately. Yeah, I mean, they basically had to pay ransom. I mean, if you see, Africa has so much stories that we don't even know about, but there's a lot of stories where people had presidents all of a sudden killed in the middle of the night, gathered up and attacked. And France was out there doing that shit. Rich people come down here in the Caribbean and get, yeah, same as Influenza Team. I went and watched a movie called Waves, and it basically was like upper middle class black people acting a fool. That's what it was. Hey, you mentioned Charlie Sheen. He did get some credit card fraud when he was younger. Nothing happened to him. Yeah, he did some other stuff that was like, Corey Haim basically said he sexually assaulted him. And Corey Haim was on drugs, so people were like, oh, nobody believes that story. But he said it. He said it when he was 13. That's what happened to him. So, I mean, Charlie Sheen's had some bad stories. Sending a little love. Thank you, Franco Ocho, for the $5 super chat. Houston, Dallas, all cities are being bought up. I make $4K a month just for my credit cards. Yeah, Sean Dicer, you can do that from manufacturer spend, or what manufacturer spend is dying, so we could have a whole conversation about that. But manufacturer spend is wrapping up. So there's some events I'm going to where I know people are like, I have this 100K on these credit cards, and I'm shut out of Walmart, MoneyGram, all these places shutting them down. Amazon just shut down about 100,000 credit cards. You can go Google the article. Amazon had basically been giving out all these really low credit cards all of a sudden, 2K, and then they started shutting people down. You went to Apple Store, you went to somewhere, you went to Walmart, you bought a gift card, they shut you down. So yes, there's things changing. There's a Chinese investor group that bought the old Silverdome in Detroit at the height of the last recession for $500,000. Yep. I live in upstate New York. The Bosnians are buying up property up here. Listen, what I'm trying to get y'all to see is that rent is not going down. You have a choice here. You can either own some stuff and actually get a check, or you can be out here complaining about how high rent is. Rent's so high. Okay. We've talked about this. The Dead Sea community is buying up Kannapolis, NC for sure. They're getting tech and engineering degrees from UNCC and establishing community. Yeah, just right. It's huge. It's huge out here in Houston. Because there's so much money in the Indian community in Houston, they have the biggest cricket center ever. They will actually host international games, which means people from London and Pakistan and India will come to Houston for the biggest center in America. And that's come from Houston money. So when people talk to me about, I ain't trying to own businesses and houses cost too much and rental property, I can't even be around those people. I'm serious, y'all. I'm like, you're basically taking the exit door in America right now. You're basically saying, I give up. I give up. It's too hard in America. That's what you're saying. So, oh, I don't even know what he's saying. I mean, did he block him already? Good. I don't even know. They were calling me. I'm like, what y'all want me to do? Glendon's hilarious. All races are buying up Detroit. Blacks are not. I'm telling you. Can you buy trucks and operate from outside the United States, hiring drivers? Malcolm, I only work with third-party companies that will hire the drivers, pay the drivers, and just send me a check. I won't do all that other stuff now. I will cover maintenance. But again, see, Memphis Rusty, I'm telling you, people be wanting them houses. Oh, thank you, Quashawn Johnson, for the $10 super chat. Have you heard what happened to the YouTuber I'm in a Hellcat? I'm in a Hellcat? Tell me what happened. Put it in the comments. You can always pay your way out of jail or skip bail or leave the country. Hunter Biden's rental car with crack pipe and passport. I'm telling you, it's crazy. I lost 80 eating eggs every day and stacking boxes at Amazon. How do you get over the temptation of hair weave? It's a weakness, especially in Black Friday. Purpose Pit, stop. Uma got busted for what? Looking like a bougie snack. Stacking boxes will melt. I'm telling you, I've seen women. My aunt works for the post office, and they switched it up on her. They say, well, you're going to do it outside this year. You're going to walk. And she was like, what? She lost 50 pounds, y'all. My aunt is a taller woman, but that 50 pounds, she needed to lose it. She needed every bit of it to come off. And we were like, you look great. Don't you feel great? She said, I feel tired. Post office will make you work. It said he didn't pay his taxes? Tell me about it. Tell me what happened. Taxes? Is it all taxes? He hasn't paid taxes for 3 years. FBI seized over $50 million on all the cars and property. The only thing they left him with was YouTube AdSense income. Oh my God. I'm sorry. You guys, that's dumb. That's dumb. Because let me tell you, there was a point where YouTube snitched on me, and I just wrote a check every month to the IRS. And you know why? because I rather them come back and be like, "Man, you paid too much," than not. And that's when I got a whole accounting team. Y'all don't understand when you go from, I ain't gonna tell too much business, but when you go from 100,000, 300,000 to a mil, honey, them taxes hit you different. They gonna hit you like a mollywop. But you see, if you read the Smartphone Millionaire book, if y'all see what I've been talking about, because I laddered my income across all these different things, stocks and taxes and tax liens and land and farmland and trucks and different things, you can write all these things off. They're all write-offs. It hits you different. But you got to have an accounting team fighting hard for you. Not just you, like a whole team. And when that accounting team started fighting for me, man, IRS didn't send me no more letters. They were like, okay, we're going to leave her alone. She got a whole team. She got a real team out here. She ain't playing. The IRS will send you 2 letters a month. 2 to 3 letters a month. He knew what was coming up. He knew. I got to go look that story up. We'll talk about it. Thank you, Patrick Anglade, for telling me he didn't pay taxes for 3 years. What a dummy. I would even, that's dumb. Do you know you could literally write a check? If you paying $100, just $100, the IRS won't even bother you because you sending some money. He out here looking stupid. I'm gonna have to look that up. He had over 20 cars. See, when you stunting for the gram, they gonna come get you, baby. They gonna come. Again, y'all don't understand. There's method to the madness. Why some people don't show nothing. That's why some of these people are teaching you minimalism, and y'all didn't look at how big Dave Ramsey house is and how big Dave Ramsey kids house is, and Dave Ramsey built this whole freaking building because he know he gonna make the money in the next recession. Dave Ramsey know he gonna make this money. He know. Oh shit! What time? I know I have a event at some point in time here. I have a business meeting. I think at 2:40. So they sound like they targeted him. You have 3 years to claim unclaimed tax refunds. Yeah, they had no idea what his deductions were. He may have been owned. They targeted him. Yeah. I'm sorry, but every year pay the late fee if you have to. That much money is certainly going to attract extra scrutiny. We are streaming captured content, I believe. 3% is my show. Yes, he owned 2 IPT companies, Gears TV and Reloaded TV. I'm gonna write this down. Thank you. I'm gonna investigate this. Thank you. Patrick is doing the best today. Thank you. Gears TV and Reloaded TV. Listen, Grant Cardone has even told you he's been audited 3 times, and every time they're like, damn it, can't get him. Asians wear hair extensions like crazy and buy whitening cream for you. Yes. People keep acting like hair extensions is a black lady thing. It really is not. It's a lot of people do it. Thank you, Rod, for real estate. Keep bringing that fire. Yeah, I got to wrap this up. Thank you guys for being here. But it's going on 2 hours. It's crazy. We got to wrap this up. Families are showing normalcy and they can't have that. Yes, Inco. That's just it. You have the people that's making the most money on YouTube are regular old families, farms, homeschooling, the opposite norm of what TV's pumping on you. You know, kids who are in soccer teams and like happy black men, happy black women, black love. You know, black channels that are like making millions. There's like one black guy with like 4 daughters and 1 son, and his channel making millions, and they just be goofy. Drugs in the food. You're telling the truth, Chantel. I made that very clear. There are some struggling similar. Again, I didn't say not all. But if 75 million Americans are making 30K a year and you're a single mom at 30K a year, honey, it is poverty. Okay, but not all. Yes. Patrick. See, Patrick giving us all the stuff. Thank you, Patrick. Look at you, Patrick. I'm gonna review that. I've been off dairy milk for 5 years. You feel better. It's all that mucus. Mucus. Yep, you can tell the freshness in the meat, fish, all of it. Thailand is nice. I went there this past summer. I'm telling you, man. I ain't scared. Thank you, M. Jim, for the 99 super chat. Thank you for dropping the knowledge. Thank you guys for being here today. I appreciate it. Austin has a huge homeless problem as well. Sean, you know where our homeless people came from? California. They shipped them here in San Diego and Antonio, because we have actually companies that track the homelessness, and they're like, we got an influx of 2,000 people in San Antonio and Austin. Where do these people come from? Because the churches have a network. The network, basically, if you ever ask one church for some money or food or put your name down, it goes into this network and it tells all the other churches, because you have actual people who just spend their month going around begging for money and stuff from different churches. And they shut that down, right? Churches started connecting with each other, talking with each other, going, oh no, that person's already been through here. We've already given them money. And so they started tracking this system like they do. And a lot of the homeless people came out of California and New York. And they'd ask them how they get here and all this other stuff. Classy climbing. What's up, house hunters? Yeah, when I do a healthy food channel, ain't nobody gonna tell me nothing. Overflowing principles. Thank you for the $5 super chat. That's very true. Confessions of Economic Hitman. I'm not gonna tell you that. How do you sell your good credit? You talking about like? Are you talking about like using your credit cards as authorized users? That's not that. We're not on this. We're not talking about that in this video. Tax liens. Shout out cousin. Yeah. I make money from my credit card. Okay, Sean. Sean, do you have a channel that you want to promote, that you want people to go see you, Sean? Let us know. No offense to Omni, but he's the type of people you talk about. He did business wrong, and now the Fed sees all his assets, millions in cars and Jews. Oh, me. That's how you're pronouncing it. Oh, me. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Bigger than taxes. He's basically doing the same thing as Napster, but for vids. Ah. Y'all, I'm gonna have to go look him up, because everybody, I want to see that now. He was illegal streaming. He got busted for. Okay, thank you for the $5 super chat. Erica, I learn something new every time you come on the interwebs. Keep up the good work. Alicia, thank you for the $5 super chat. Man, y'all really donating today. I appreciate that. FBI raid for 3 years of back taxes. I'm not buying it. He had way much. Yeah, that don't sound right. I know people who ain't paid taxes in 7 years. Not that I'm advocating that. Please, I never advocate anybody to do that. Please pay your taxes, okay? House Hunter 216. 999 super chat. Go sign up for a free account. Hashtag Blacker Pockets. Listen, if you want to make money investing in inner cities where people are coming, all these people coming in, Chinese, Japanese, Israelis, Brazilians coming in, buying in the middle of Detroit, Cleveland, New York, Boston, all these places, but you're not. You better get in there and get to connecting with people. Where can I sign up for a free account? House Center 216. Blacker Pockets. Blacker Pockets. Also, House Hunter 216 is the one who has the wholesaling course. For those who asked about wholesaling earlier, that's the person who has the wholesaling course. All right, you guys, I am wrapping it up. Thank you for like $128 in super chats today. Y'all really super chatting. There's over 285 likes. Thank you for liking the channel. Thank you for being here today. I'm going to go eat this lunch at a business lunch, and hopefully they pay. If they don't pay, I'm going to be a little sad, because I'm going to be like, why I come out here in my house in this cold weather to pay for lunch? Anyway, all right, you guys, this is your girl, Erica. Thank you for being here, even though we had crazy interruptions earlier. That was crazy. I'm going to finish this out because Lanny's funny. Lanny08 says, these MGTOW channels talk about women hitting the wall, but real quiet when men hit the financial wall. Y'all be in here starting mess, okay? Y'all are in here starting mess. I love it. Y'all are in these comments cracking me up. Oh no, I dropped it. Okay. All right, you guys. This is your girl, Erica from the Classic Well. Again, coffee is for closers. Make a decision.